Okay, so now we're going to be doing research. Okay, right here, as you can see in the slide, okay, we're going to be doing research. This is the research question that you have for today. Okay, and the question is, what is going on in the picture? And the picture is this one right here on the left side. This is also the same. You can find this in the same document that you have. So it's the same one that you're going to be doing this on your notebook. So you're doing out questions, again, the reading that we just went through, and the research. What is research? So our research question again, what is going on in the picture above? And again, this is why for do not we analyze the picture, we just try to make some inferences on what's going on, and again, without having any prior knowledge. But this time you're gonna have sources. So I provided some sources. Okay, so I've done some research for you to help you answer your research question, and there's 8 sources that you can use to do your research. Some are easier to read, and then some are have more detailed information. So you're gonna have about 25 minutes for this segment of the lesson. Some of them include primary sources. You should already know what primary sources are. If you need a refreshment, again, primary sources are sources made by somebody who lived through that event. And some examples include a diary entry. It could include a photograph. It could include any data or documentation, like data of information, things of that sort. Somebody that lived through that event. Okay, and secondary sources are, again, sources written by people that did not live through that event, but they're using primary sources to make those sources. Okay, all right, and some will have photographs and so on. So you have to decide, okay, which sources are the best. Okay, so this is the key part, the best. Which sources do you think are more reliable, or the best for you, and you'll give them the information that you're looking for. And again, you can find those in the same file from your notebook. So if you scroll down, you're going to be using this organizer to write your responses. Now, those questions that you have right here, so what's going on in the picture, this is what, in order to get a perfect score on this assignment, you need to address this part, this in your answer. Describe who is in the picture. Like, you need to identify who those individuals are, where they are, and around what year it might be. Okay, so again, it's a good approximate year will be fine. If you're off by about 10 years, that's okay. More than 10 years, that's a little bit off. So okay, so see if you can nail it around 10 years. You need to explain the background about what happened. So look at this picture right here, and you need to you need to let me know, give me some context. Okay, so you need to let me know, okay, so how did the people in this picture arrive to that scene? Okay, and also find out what they're doing. So if you scroll down, you don't have to worry about rewriting those questions. You can simply have the questions right here. So you have your question right here. So this is what is going on in the picture, and here's what you're going to be doing. You'll type, for example, let's see, hold on. For example, you're going to write, if you're using, for example, let's go back to the sources we have. So the sources, you can find them on Teams. If you go back to files, go to files, and you should have a document that says Project Lunch source packets, and you should have a total of 8. So you scroll down. Okay, so now this is internet source 1. And if you scroll down again, you see internet source 2, 3, and so on. You should have a total of 8. So you're going to use the duration of the class time to look through this, each source. And again, you're looking for the best sources. Okay. So for example, let's say that, for example, if you want to write in the question, what is going on in the picture? And the evidence and answers that you have is based on internet source 1. So you're going to write in the box 1, and then write, let's say, for example, apartheid is the separation of people, and so on. So you write 1, and on this column over here, it says source, you type your sources. So if you use source 1, you write source 1 right here. You just type 1. If you use source 2, you type 2. If you use 5, and so on. You don't have to use all of them. So make sure that over here on the left side, just to make sure that your responses are aligned, just type 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 through 8, and then explain how is that evidence or leading to an answer to this question. And the same thing for the second question over here. Who are the people in this picture? And again, you need to go through sources 1 through 8, and which of those sources 1 through 8 is helping you answer that question. How do you know that those people are what you're saying? And again, this is what historians do. So they look at, for example, a primary source, and they compare with other sources written in those times to justify why their arguments are correct. Okay. So again, as a historian, there's always bias. So the less biased you are, the more. That's the aim as a historian. Okay. The next part of the question is where are the people? So again, this is a setting. What location of the world, and around what time is what year it might be. What happened before this event that caused these people to want to do this. So if you want to really have a big hint, refer back to Do Now. We had a quick short discussion about what was going on in those pictures, and this is leading up to what we're going to be discussing for this whole unit. And then also the last one, other information I might need. So anything else that you feel like, okay, so the question was not asking me that, but I think this is really important. So you'll type, for example, source 3, and you just mention whatever you saw in source 3 that is really relevant to answering what the picture is about. All right, so you'll be taking about 25 minutes for this part. If it's 40 minutes, that's fine. Again, but the minimum amount of time you're going to be taking on this is about 25 minutes. So again, I recommend that you go through the sources first, so get familiarized with them, and then see how each of those sources can help you answer those questions. And again, you're looking for the best sources. Okay, you can have, if you can justify, you can have, for example, what is going on in the picture. You can have source 1 through 8. So long as you use evidence, that's the key component. Again, do not just write any. Don't use every source, or just use multiple sources just simply because you might be tempted to think that the more sources that I use, the more stronger my argument is. It might make it actually weaker. Okay, sometimes you might only need 2 sources that are very much more stronger than other weak sources. So again, look for sources, go through those sources, get familiar with what they're depicting, what they're saying, the photographs. Again, so you might have you're gonna have data information, you're gonna have photographs, you're gonna have simply primary sources, which simply just people that live through those events. So again, go through those sources on your own. You have 25 minutes for this part. Again, you're gonna be working on this through your class notebook, and I'll be checking your responses.